Morning all, so I am off my colonoscopy this morning. I'm just about to get into my Uber now, so I'll catch up. Right, so I'm at the hospital now, about to do outpatient's entrance. So we'll go through the automatic doors. Thankfully, the Uber driver is able to drop me off like right outside the door I need to go through. So, and the endoscopy unit that I have to go into is like really close, so I've not got loads to cover. So yeah, I'm gonna go get checked in and then we'll go from there. So I've been like checked in, etc., gone through all my medical history, made sure that I'm aware of what I'm having done today. Now I've got to get these super sexy shorts, which you have to put on at the back, so it's opening for the doctors to have easy access, and obviously the hospital gown as well. And then I've brought my dressing gown and slippers with me so I can put them over the top. So it's time to get dressed. So I am now back in the waiting room, well, a different waiting room. I've got my hospital gown underneath, I've got my dressing gown on, I have my cannula for my arm, ready for my conscious sedation. So now it's just a case of sitting and waiting for someone to come with me for the procedure. So I feel okay, I know what to expect. It's not a procedure that anybody generally looks forward to, but it's such an important procedure to get done if you are having any sort of unexplained symptoms. I can't stress that enough. Like, hopefully we'll just end up getting like an all clear today, or finding the result of whatever. But that's what you've got to do. Like, if you know what you're dealing with, then you can work out how to manage that going forward. But the stress involved in unknown things going on with your body is just the stress that generally nobody needs to live with, and they don't need to put themselves through it. So I will see you on the other side. Right, so one thing to bear in mind with hospital appointments like this, and obviously every hospital is different, is that multiple people might get called in for the clinic, like the day clinic, at the same time. So my appointment today is at 9:30 in the morning. However, it's now 11 o'clock, so I was here on time. I got called through not too long after, well, around 9:30. And obviously there's different bits, like the nurse has to go through everything, check my blood pressure, check my medical history, allergies, all that sort of stuff. I've got to get changed, and then the cannula gets put in when I'm in the waiting room. So it's just a case of waiting for, I think they've got three doctors on today. But the procedure itself, like the colonoscopy procedure, takes about 20 minutes, so it's not too long. But they've obviously got to prepare the room before and after. It's like just like a small, like, I wouldn't say an operating room, but similar, because like you've got the bed in there, and then like you get laid down. So they normally lay you on your left hand side, and you sort of bring your knees up, and they'll make sure you're comfortable. They talk you through the procedure. When I have conscious sedation, like every single time, it changes like how my reaction is to it. And sometimes I'm with it enough that I like watch what's happening, which is quite fascinating in some ways. Like, you don't get to see the insides of your body very often, so I think it's quite interesting. And you can, but then other times conscious sedation has an effect on me whereby I just don't really remember much of it, like, at all. So I guess it will affect everybody in different ways. But the procedure itself, like for me personally, like I have because of like my back problems and nerve problems, like I've been left in general with like a sort of lack of sensation at the back. So for me, the insertion of the camera and things, like, it's not painful at all. As far as I'm aware, the procedure's not painful anyway. It's just not the most comfortable. But like I said, for me, I don't have much sensation there, so like it's not an issue. But yeah, and then once it's all over, just whirl you through to recovery, and then like they'll, once you're feeling better and they've like checked you're okay, you get a drink and normally bring you some bickies or something. So I can't tell you how much I'm looking forward to that right now, because I've not eaten anything for nearly 36 hours. It wouldn't ordinarily be like, you wouldn't ordinarily be expected to not eat for that amount of time. Normally I think it's like 6 hours, because that it leaves enough time for, well, it should leave enough time for everything to like be like digested through, and obviously if you're taking the mother prep stuff as well. But for me, because it's my second one having it for this investigation, I've just had to like prolong the fast, and obviously I have 3 mother prep solutions. So it is just what it is really. So, you know, if you were having to go through this procedure, then you will get a phone call and nurses will go through it with you. And I've just noticed here, completely off topic, got 2 little white hairs in my eyebrow. So I'll have to get them plucked out later. The joys of aging. So see you later. Hi, so I'm out, and I'm out for recovery, and I'm just in the waiting area now, waiting to get picked up. So today, I've had the colonoscopy. It all went well, however it didn't go quite to plan. So it's been, as I said before, I was being prepared to have conscious sedation, which is what I've had the previous times that I've had colonoscopy. And when I got checked in, my blood pressure was okay. It was like 112/79, so I was alright and happy with that. However, when I went in, so it was like just over an hour later, because when you get called in for your appointment, multiple people come in because you're in for like a morning procedure or an afternoon procedure, so you like the wait is to be expected. So I get that, but no problem. But because I'd not eaten anything for like 36 hours, and you can't really drink a lot, apart from like the mother prep solution I was having and the water I was having when taking my medication, my body had sort of dehydrated itself. So when I was lying down, so I went into the room, got onto the bed, was lying there, they put a blood pressure on you, and so that they can check your blood pressure before they give you the sedation. And my blood pressure had dropped to 88/53, which is too low. So they checked it again, and they even checked it on a different machine as well, just to make sure, because it had been okay not only an hour before. So we got it checked 3 times, and it was still all around like in the 80s, over in the 50s. So we had to make a decision, and it wasn't safe as well for me to have the sedation. However, I still need to have the colonoscopy, so I agreed to go ahead with the colonoscopy without sedation. I did explain, as I said previously, that I have lack of sensation at the back anyway, which is due to like nerve damage and slip discs and various things that have gone on. So I wasn't really like concerned, so they went ahead and for me, like, I'm on a lot of medication, and so general pain is actually very difficult for me to like feel. My pain threshold is very high, so don't take what I'm saying as this is how it would be for like anybody and everybody, because everyone experiences things differently. Like when I've had the sedation, any time I've had it for endoscopies or whatever, and colonoscopies, my reaction has been different each time, but this time I couldn't have it, and so we went ahead. And one good thing about not having it is that you get to watch the camera and see like all your inside, so it's going up into like, you know, up through into your bowels and then further on through your colon and everything. It's quite fascinating to watch. I had like an amazing doctor. She was really amazing, and like the nurses as well were like fab. Kept checking that I was okay. I had gas in there as well, but also because my blood pressure dropped because I had the cannula in, they also hooked me up to some fluids so that they could try and like rehydrate my body. So we went through it all, and like there's obviously twists and turns like throughout like your colon and like into your intestines and everything. So, you know, I started off lying on my left hand side. At one point I needed to like roll onto my back, and then I had to roll onto my right hand side, and then I had to go back onto my back, and then ended up back on my left hand side. So it just depends, and there were times where the nurse had to press on different parts of my body as well, and that's to help get like the camera around the different bends and everything. But you know, it's an experience. But for me personally, like there were some, like maybe 3 parts which were, I would say that they're more uncomfortable as opposed to actually like painful. Like I said, I had the gas in there and that was fine. They kept telling me that I was doing well throughout it. I think they were actually probably kind of surprised that I didn't like wriggle about a bit more, but it's not going to do any good, and it prevents them from being able to do their jobs. And like I said, I've got a high protein threshold, so I'm fortunate in that situation. But we carried on, and I ended up like we got it all done. Thankfully, they didn't seem to find anything going on, like there weren't any polyps or anything like obvious, no like lumps or bumps or anything. So why the bleeding's happened, we don't know. There's a few things that we need to like discuss in like a follow-up appointment, because you know the bleeding's come from somewhere, so if it's not coming from there, like is it coming from like further up my system? Like I do suffer with like problems with my esophagus and with my stomach as well, so that could be it. But afterwards, it probably took about half an hour, maybe 40 minutes to do the whole process. So, well, you know, that was including like, you know, my blood pressure and everything. I managed to get my blood pressure back up once the fluids were in my body, well, they're going into my body as well. So that's a good thing. And then got wheeled into recovery, where thankfully I've not been groggy. I've like got my cup of squash and I've had water, and again we've like been checking on my blood pressure and making sure that everything's alright. So now I'm back dressed, I'm sitting in like the little waiting area in the endoscopy unit, and I'm now just waiting to get picked up and excited to go and have my lunch. So I'm really grateful if you've like watched this video with me. I hope that, you know, by me sharing this experience, it can help somebody, you know, or just put your mind at rest, or give you a bit of encouragement if you've got to do the preparation and everything. And it's never nice coming to hospital and having to have any sort of procedures, but please don't ever let that fear or that worry like stop you from going and getting checked out in the first place. Like, we've not got any answers yet, but we will still keep getting them, and you know, us as individuals are the only people that can control getting that ball rolling. So always make sure that you go and get that done. So thank you so much. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, Please hit the like button, leave me a comment. You can also follow me on my Instagram page or my TikTok page, which are also both at Fayers_world. And yeah, I'll look forward to seeing you all for the next video. Thank you. Bye.